think it's great, and I feel like I'm very, privileged to be on a team that gets the opportunity twice. Usually you don't get that, so I'm really fortunate and just feeling grateful that I have a team that, got us there this far, and tomorrow we have another shot at redeeming from last year and getting that win over Portsmouth that I've never gotten my whole high school experience. So I think tomorrow is going to be a day that we're going to change the tide on that, and I'm really looking forward to it.
This is the end goal. This is exactly what we wanted. Get back to the championship, obviously win it, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. It just feels great. All the hard work is paid off, and hopefully we'll be able to, win tomorrow and show that, we really did this year, and we'll beat the best team in the league.
I think this year we're definitely way more prepared for it. We were all mentally prepared going into the playoffs, knowing that okay, we're going to this game. We know who we're playing. We are definitely going to know who we're playing, and we're gonna I think we're definitely going to be there mentally. I think there was a lot of nerves last year, and we definitely didn't play as good as we could have last year. But this year, I think we all know we're all, I'd say, prepared at this point and ready to go.
I mean, we kind of set this goal for ourselves at the beginning of the season. And we're essentially the same team from last year. We have all the same starters, but we're a year older, a year stronger. So we wanted to just expand on what we did last year and get back all the way to the championship.
Playing for Coach Hetler has been an amazing experience. It's such a good feeling to trust that you're prepared and to be able to go out into these situations and just have a good time. It's stressful in the moment, but when you're able to just play the game as you've learned, it's a really good time.
It's incredibly meaningful for these guys. They came here they lost freshman year to COVID, right? And we talked the other day about how it did change the culture a little bit, right? They lost that year, that freshman class lost that year of development. Luckily, they did have a strong senior class their following year as sophomores, so we started to build again. And it took a little while to get everything back to the way that things had been before. And to get back to the final step, we've joked about it. It's always great to get to play and practice on the last possible day, and these guys have done that. Now it's time to finish the job, and they're feeling really confident. I hope. I've told them for a while that they've all said, Coach, we're not gonna leave without winning you a championship, and I appreciate that, but I want them to do it for themselves tomorrow. I've been there, I've been to the mountaintop. This is about them and the journey that they've been on the last 4 years, and I'm excited to get to see them. I think it's great. I think there's nothing really for the guys to be nervous about. They've got to go out and make plays. We know that they can play man. They know that they can play zone. We know that there's different offensive sets that they can do. We know their personnel really well. Can we go out and execute on offense? Can we execute on defense and do the things that we've got to do to win a championship? There's really nothing they shouldn't feel confident about. Does it mean that we're definitely going to win tomorrow? No, it doesn't. But there's no reason not to go into this game feeling confident about your chances of winning and going out and executing. I would be very surprised if the guys didn't come out and play well right from the beginning. If Portsmouth beats us, they're going to play really well, and they're going to beat us at our A game. I can't see these guys not bringing their A game tomorrow, and I'm confident that they will.
It does help, but not as much as you'd think, because going out there, it's still the same game I played since second grade. They could change things up on us last second, come up with some new plays. They've got a good coach too. They're not going to run the same thing every time. They're not going to They're not like half the teams we played where they're going to run the same one play every time. They've got a couple other plays, and knowing that it's a championship game, they might have come up with some new ones. So we've always got to be prepared and ready for whatever their offense could throw at us.
Think about that when I'm in game, just checking over my shoulders to make sure nothing unusual is happening. But when we've played a team like Portsmouth as much as we have, we're really able to see the offense and we're able to operate out of habit, which I think we do a good job of protecting against that lulling us into complacency. We're able to play really effectively because we know them so well.
I think, like you said, both teams know what they're going to get. I think we might have a couple more things up our sleeve that we're going to bring out, but I think it just kind of brings out the effort in the guys, knowing what we have to do and just a matter of executing it to win the game. So to bring out effort in everyone, whether it's going to be the starters that we've played all year or a couple bench guys that might get in the game to give us a break or something like that. It's just going to be full all-out effort, especially for the seniors, knowing it's their last high school game ever. I think it's just going to bring as much effort as everyone can give.
I think it's good. Our scouting report is, it's been the same. Focus on 24, he's their main guy, but they have some other guys that can score and they have good D. But we know the scouting report, it's more of just like executing offensively. I think if our defense, coach has been saying the whole entire year, defense will win us a championship, defense will win us a championship. If defense buckles down, the offense is going to score. As long as we keep it out of their hands and keep it out of the men's hands, then we're gonna get the win.
It's been 3 years since we've beaten them, and I think it's kind of a hard mental hump to get over. But I think with the way that we've played and with the way that we played against Portsmouth, I think we're in a really good mental spot where we're not like underestimating them, but we definitely have a sense of confidence about us that I think we haven't had the previous times we've played them.
There's going to be any surprises. Everyone knows how each team is going to have to react and respond to each other and what their strengths and weaknesses are, what they try to do on offense, and what we have to do on defense to counter that. So I think we know what we have to do, and I think we've been playing really well, and it's going to be hard for us not to execute. And I think we're really prepared for this game, and it's going to be a good one.
I think there was going to be a big crowd no matter what. I know Portsmouth travels well. We travel well. I think it's just it just adds to the excitement and a little bit of juice to the game. A little extra electricity in the air. But in all the years that we've been in the finals and we've played Portsmouth, it's never not been a ramped up, juiced up game. So I don't think it changes a lot, other than it's a really special opportunity for them to get the spotlight at the end of a great championship weekend for these guys.
The atmosphere, because we haven't been there since last year. We haven't been in the locker room since last year. So we all remember what the feelings were and emotions were at that time last year. So definitely, I think that'll also help give us energy to help push us to win the game as well.
It's impossibly exciting. This is my last opportunity to play for the school, to play for Coach Hetler, to play for my teammates, and it's the same situation for all of our seniors. It's going to be an electric atmosphere against a rival, and we're well prepared. So I'm excited to fly around the field and play the best game of my life.
It's one of the best atmospheres that you can play in under the lights on Lacrosse championship game. It's going to be my most memorable game, I think, and I'm just going to have the most fun out there that I've ever had, because senior year, championship season, I've talked to a lot of guys who have played college lacrosse and I'll be going on next year to play, and they've all said their favorite memories were playing high school lacrosse. So I'm really going to cherish the moment, and especially having a game like that under the lights in a championship game is no better way to end it. So I'm really excited.
All the guys are excited for that. We don't get too many night games like that during the year. I think the latest game we had during the regular season was 6:30 start maybe, and the sun doesn't go down until about 8 something now. But it's definitely a lot of exciting, better atmosphere. Like all the guys I know, I mean, like even at graduation day, going around asking people, "Hey, are you coming to the game tomorrow? Who's coming to the game?" Talking to teachers, telling them to come to the game. We're just trying to get everyone there, trying to bring the energy that we know we're going to bring and have the fans match that as well.
It's surreal. It's a Sunday night game. It's the 7:30. It's perfect. It's under the lights. It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow too. I mean, you can't ask for anything more except for a win, obviously. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, 7. Yeah, Nick.
We knew we had to come out hard against them, especially getting ground balls right off that first face-off, and I believe Max did it right there, did it perfectly, and then just coming out quick and getting that first one, kind of get the crowd going, get everyone on the bench going, is really good for the momentum of the game, and then it kind of just, it keeps carrying on for the rest of that half.
I think it made us play more confident, but also allowed us to slow the game down on offense and really run our sets, and ultimately get it in the back of the net without having to rush our offense and have to be in the scramble. We have to score, and we have to get points on the board, because they were under us almost the whole game.
We learned some stuff from that. We made some adjustments from the first time we played. They were well prepared. They came out firing, and that's what we needed to do. We needed to get off to a fast start to prove that, hey, we're going to be the aggressor. I mean, that was the last thing I told the kids in the huddle before we took the field is, no fear tonight. We're being the aggressor. Take the game to them. Dictate the pace of play. And I think it was really important that we came out and did that right away.
I think we just had a lot of confidence in ourselves, and we were in a better mental state than the last time we played them. I think when we played them during the regular season, we were a little scared, honestly, and kind of in our own heads. But I think this time we really felt like we were the better team, and we were really well prepared for it. And I think just we had confidence in ourselves that we were the better team and that we could perform better than them. So I think that's what led to us gaining that lead.
For me and for the defense, it felt pretty similar to our regular season game because we've been well coached and we've been able to see Portsmouth's offense very well. The difference was really for the offense. They've made huge improvements in their zone offense from Coach Hetler, and they've also worked individually on their own patience and their own shooting. So the difference really comes from them.
Definitely gave us a lot more, the momentum was definitely much more on our side for the first half of that game, which definitely allowed us to, keep pushing in that game and not have us fall apart at all, and definitely gave, especially the defense in the beginning, a lot of momentum to keep playing defense, knowing that our offense was continuing to put up points, so that gave us us on the defensive end more reason to, keep them off the board, so that way we could take an even bigger lead, so that way if we did mess up at all, it wouldn't hurt that badly.
we needed that goal. Again, I think it helped us carry momentum into the second quarter, into halftime.
A huge goal in terms of the energy shifting and just kind of being the more dominant team in that instance, and just having the energy all on our side. Ending a quarter you never want to end with a goal against you, because it just kind of feels like defeat. So for us to be able to put one in on them and kind of feel all the energy on our side and we're all fired up, it was definitely exactly the way I want to end the first quarter. We didn't want to get complacent with our lead, and we wanted to keep building on the things that we already had and not lose all that progress that we had, because it's our last game. And we didn't want to, it was kind of just kind of like the fruit of all our efforts, just having that big lead going to half, and for us to just get complacent and not come out with a win at the end of that game would have been just the worst.
We felt good about the first half, how we played, but at half, John Kramer, number 2 on our team, says we can't get complacent. We're up by 4, but we got to keep it on the pedal. And then exactly like he said, they came out hard in the second half, especially in the third quarter, and kind of put us back on our heels a little bit. But I think we responded in the right way.
It was wild. We came into the locker room, we were all fired up. This was a huge game, and this was definitely the team we wanted to play. We wanted a rematch after the regular season game, and so we're very happy that we got that. And I think all the nerves kind of went away, and we were just out there to play lacrosse. And going up, it felt great. I was like, all right, we got this. We can't let up, but we got a little cushion here, so let's keep going.
We talked about how crucial the first 5 minutes of the third quarter are, and making sure that those 5 minutes go our way, so that way momentum doesn't drastically shift. And the first couple minutes went our way, and then it kind of fell apart, and they gained a lot of momentum. But definitely having that 8-4 lead, it was relieving, because we were able to, go into half kind of not as stressed out as we were in the regular season, being down 1, knowing that there wasn't as much work that needed to be done, knowing that okay, we have some buffer room here. We know our offense can keep scoring, and our offense or our defense has just got to keep them off the board, and we can keep going like this.
You gotta work hard, Sawyer! You gotta work hard, Sawyer! Look away! Look away, Andy!
Get up! Get up!
I think we all knew we could do it. It's just a matter of when we were going to do it. I think some guys did get a little complacent on it. But I think they saw that score and they weren't happy with it, obviously. So they came out hard in the third, winning like pretty much every ground ball off the face-off and stuff like that.
Not too excited. I just wanted the game to just speed up. I just wanted to get over. We had our lead. I just wanted to keep doing, see if we could run some clock, put some more goals in.
We had to celebrate the little things, which was being up by 4, but Coach kept on saying, the game's not over. I think what we had to key on was definitely slowing down the offense and just taking our time on possessions and getting a good shot.
Everyone's gonna feel a little nervous on the inside, a little panic when they put in that many goals in that little amount of time. But the coach calls the timeout, kind of relaxes us all a little bit, knows that we still have the lead, we're not down anymore. But we are gonna have to buckle down a little bit and definitely kind of put as much as we can and leave it all out on the field.
I don't think we really lost focus. I think it was just they started to pick it up. We started to get flags, and we were man down a couple of times, and that's where they got their momentum from. And I think Zach and Ben had 3 man-up goals, like back to back to back, all in like under 2 minutes.
Focused on like the simple things. We didn't want to give up a lot of penalties. Like we didn't want to go man down a lot. We didn't want to let them get back into it through transitions. So that was what we were keying on. And I mean, unfortunately, that's what ended up happening. They got like 3 transition goals and then 2 man-up goals, kind of in a space of a couple minutes, which was frustrating for us and kind of threw us off going into like the 4th quarter.
They worked the ball around, and 17, who came back from an ACL injury, we didn't think was going to play, but he was on their man up, and he ripped a shot, and it was probably like 5-10 yards like off, and I happened to be standing right there, and I kind of get hit with the shot, like kind of hits the side of me, and it like skims off me, hits my body, and it like rolls into the net. And Parker had no clue where it was, and neither did I. And we're like, oh my! It was the most unlucky thing that could have happened. And that gave him momentum to just keep on firing and going.
There's always gonna be like a little bit of doubt when the team goes on a run like that. And that goal right there is just kind of like a slap in the face. It never feels good, especially on a goal like that where it can easily be prevented, and it's just like a freak accident basically. I know Tyler was telling me, Parker asked him like what do I do there? And Tyler's like, you can't do anything. It's just unfortunate. It's bad luck and that bad timing.
They got a lucky one. Like there's nothing you can do about that. Just you gotta let it go. Don't let it get to you. Make the saves you can make. That's all you have to do, Parker. That's what I was trying to basically let him know, that like if he has a one-on-one and it's an unsavable save, that's not on him. It's on us. He's just gotta make the saves he can, and he did that in the end of the day.
It was wild. I saw that go in, and I looked at RJ and I was like, we got to get one more. They put in one on us, like we need to respond. And after every goal, we all the attack looked at each other and was like, the second we get the ball, like let's slow it down, like let's possess, let's get another one. And seeing that go in, it was like, okay, like that happened, but like we can. It's lacrosse. Like there's so many. They had the momentum, and it's like we could get that too. So it's like it happens, but we just got to keep going, push through it.
That moment, we all took it very well. I was talking with Parker afterwards about that goal specifically, and he knew that there's nothing that he can do about that. That's unfortunate, and we in that moment did a really good job of playing to our strengths, playing to our game plan, and keeping our heads high and just taking that one.
Played a hell of a game. Like that third quarter for them was crazy, and they executed really well. Whatever their game plan was, I think they executed it really well.
Balance has to be that use the excitement to fuel your discipline and your skill, because you can't be complacent with Portsmouth. They erupted in the third quarter, and it wasn't even because of huge lapses in our playmaking or our IQ. They just made some really good shots.
The championship here is defense, and that was from the time we got to the field yesterday. That's what we said. We said everything you have, play together. It doesn't matter if you're playing good one-on-one defense, it's not good enough. You got to be there for all your brothers. You got to make sure that the two slides, the three slides, everything is there together. And for the majority of that game, it was. There were a few lapses where we didn't, but they gave everything they had, and I think that was it. Like, collectively, they bought into, hey, it's not good enough if I'm doing my job. If I'm doing my job individually, we all have to be together in this.
It took everything we got. I mean, us seniors had to put everything because it was our last high school game. The younger guys have more to come, but they definitely wanted to win for us. There was one possession, they had the ball in the beginning of fourth quarter for about 6-7 minutes, and we were just playing lockdown deep.
I was out there for like that D stand that's probably about 5 minutes long. We kept getting like push calls and everything, which I'd say were a little soft, but that's just me. But yeah, I think everyone, especially on the D end, were tired after that. But then like knowing that we can get the ball back and Murray can put one on the back of the net and put us up by 2, I know that helps out a lot. Especially kind of, it's like a reward for that big D stand right there.
Kind of the realization that you really have no other choice. Like, it's either you make a stand here and give everything you have, or they score and tie the game and get like more momentum going for their side. So that was like our last ditch effort. Like, everything you have, just keep going until you drop.
Had such a strong brotherhood on this team, and in that fourth quarter there was a silent agreement that we were not going to let them beat us, and we all played our hearts out, and we played with each other, picking up our 1 slides, our 2 slides, just playing with immaculate chemistry, and we played with perfect effort. There was no play that we took it easy and were complacent and gave them anything. That was a huge physical effort. I was exhausted. Dugan was exhausted. Everyone was exhausted. But we enjoyed the moment and fought for each other. That's how we got through that.
I think a lot of it comes from our practices. The fact that we kind of go for, like, usually the last half of our hour, or the last hour of our practice will just be 6-on-6. So it very much helps that we don't sub out of that much, which helps build up our stamina. So whenever like Portsmouth is able to go on that 5-minute run, where we just keep on getting bad calls that don't necessarily go our way, and they keep getting the ball back and getting opportunities, we just have to keep making stops. Definitely those moments and those practices definitely help with that, and I'd say are the key reason of why we were able to make those long stands defensively.
I think it was incredibly tough for the defense, but I had no doubt in them. They're phenomenal. They've been great all season, and this game really showed like they were legit, and they were a legit defending team. And I'm super proud of all of them, and especially Parker. Like, he was on his head all game, and that was the best game I've ever seen him play. He was phenomenal, and I would say like the biggest reason why we were able to come out with a victory was because he played out of his mind.
I remember we were on offense one time. We were trying to run some clock down, and I remember it was Murray who said, like, he was talking to me how he was dead. He couldn't get the ball to, like, run. He's like, you got to get out there and, like, run. So we're just kind of, like, because we're trying to set pace, just move a little, so we're on the crease kind of talking about what we're going to do. And, we were talking to each other. I was like, well, look at them. Like, we can give it our all for these next couple of minutes. And, we're looking at them. They're dead. They're on their knees, like, trying to get some, like, their breath back and stuff. So, I mean, that kind of fired me up when I saw that they were down. It just kind of gave me a boost that, it doesn't matter. Like, we'll remember it for the rest of our lives if we win. So there's no point in being tired now. Let's just get the ball and run and do the things that we know we can do.
Alex's hockey shot that basically, was a missed pass that he found on the crease and just said, got to put it in the back of the net, and found a way to get it in there. And that one proved to be really, really important too down the stretch there. the save. It hit his foot, and it went up, had some backspin on it, and even Tyler Lettieri, our close defenseman, had a chance, like almost had it and almost was able to pull it from going in the goal. I mean, they got a few goals. Like, take nothing, no credit away from Portsmouth. Played an amazing game, amazing comeback, effort to do that. It's the most proud I've ever been of a player. I think about 2 summers ago when, again, we realized we were graduating a very good senior class. Parker had just started playing goalie for us the year before. The commitment he made, we got up 3-4 times a week during the summer and met here in the mornings and, got him to a good point last spring. Wasn't perfect, didn't have enough playing experience yet, wasn't there, but he made great strides.
I didn't have any doubt he wasn't going to make that save. I've seen him make that save 1,000 times in practice, and we got to give big props to him. He's been playing great all season, especially in that game, making big stops, especially like that one. And he's got one more year to get even better, and I promise he'll get better.
Super proud of Parker. I reflected on our championship game last year, and I think our weaknesses came in the defensive end and the goaltending. I think we just made a lot of little mental mistakes. And so to see the strides that we've made this year, especially Parker, I think he's been the most improved on the team, and just had a crazy season. And for him to step up in that final game, I think was a good culminating event for him.
Yeah, it was definitely very relieving, especially on those outside shots where it is all on him to make those saves, and there's nothing we can do. No one can get over there, no one can slide up to it, and it's just whoever's shooting in Parker. So it's really great knowing that we can trust Parker to make those saves in those crucial moments when the game's on the line. And he did.
I was so relieved in that moment because ultimately the defense is centered around Parker. He's the last line of defense. And he played so well during that game. When he made that save, everything was on autopilot, if you will. Just Parker makes a save and break and get ready to clear. But privately, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, yes, we did it.
I was a little nervous, because I knew they had, Nick Smith was really hot going in the faceoffs. I had no doubt in LP, but faceoffs is just like any other thing where you get hot and you get cold. And I think Nick Smith had the momentum for a little bit. And so I was definitely worried. But then again, no doubt in the defense and they.
I have so many different emotions for that overtime. I mean, as soon as I saw we lost the face-off, I'm like, oh man, this could be over. Zach Amen got the ground ball and started running on offense. I'm like, oh goodness, he's gonna come down the alley and rip it for sure.
nervous going into OT, especially when we lost that face-off because the energy has been going. They've been winning face-offs, putting goals in the back of the net consecutively. So for us to lose that face-off, it was big. It was like, I don't know, where this is going to go. I wasn't on the field for defense because I was dead, so whenever they shoot, I kind of look away a little bit. And, we got a lucky kind of break when Zach stepped over that 50-yard line and we got to go on offense.
I've been doing this for a long time, and I've learned over time that you can actually overcoach kids. And there was a time I looked at my assistant and I saw us clear it, and I go, do we take a timeout right now? And before he could even answer, I just said, no, we're going to let him play.
I had a pretty good feeling about Flanny taking his time up there with the ball, just cradling it, waiting to go. And then when he went in the scrum, I was especially looking for Chili. I was looking around because he's always the guy that gets those ground balls and then just will put it away out of nowhere.
Basically, after Zach Amen got pushed over the line, we kind of set up in our formation. We got situated, and then Flanny took his guy up top to run a dodge. So we were all getting through, giving him his space because he had the matchup. He's a phenomenal dodger on shorties, and we were expecting him to just go all the way, and so we we're getting out of his way for him.
I started up top with it, and I probably burned 2 minutes off the clock just kind of standing there, and I couldn't really hear what coach was calling out. I heard he was calling Duke. That was not our Duke at all. That was just me dodging down the alley. I was gonna either look for a shot or I was gonna give it to the person curling. So it was Chili, but he had it in his right hand, so it wasn't a good look by me. But
honestly, I thought he was gonna shoot it. He had an open shot. I'm gonna be honest, but knowing Ethan, he's always gonna be looking for that one more. And Chili was wide open. The pass was just a little bit off. And as soon as I saw that ball hit the ground, I knew everyone was gonna be swarming all over it.
Quite what happened, but the pass missed me a little bit, and I think it hit Gunnar Jackson's foot behind me. It dropped, hit the dirt, little scuffle happened, and then the ball squirted out my direction. I picked it up, and I think Macy's Shown tried to hit me, and I don't quite remember that, but I think he tried to hit me, and then I ran around number 3, and then I was able to put it in far side on Kai Patterson.
We all knew Chili was going to get that ground ball. It's always Chili. Who else but Chili is what we were saying the whole entire day. So he picked up the ground ball, and everyone's yelling, "Shoot it, Chili, shoot it!" And he rips it to the left side of the net, and we win it right there.
Kind of some flashbacks to the Westwood game. Like I said in that interview, big players are going to step in big moments, and if anyone's going to be making that shot, it's going to be him. So I knew right as he picked that ball up, it was going in the net, and then we all just celebrated from then.
One ground ball we needed, and somehow it squirted out. He found it, was able to get free, and he even said, I was going to switch to my right hand, but then they weren't on me, and I was able to keep it in my left, and he had just enough of an angle to shoot that shot.
And I don't know, just the feeling of, we practice those 6-on-6 situations, getting ground balls and stuff, and just the feeling of being in that overtime situation and then doing it, it just felt like another just of those. I could see us practicing the same play in practice, and then it goes into overtime. We're all just looking at each other like we won, all this practice. All the time we spent together paid off, and we ultimately got what we wanted at the end.
I had this feeling as soon as the ball ended up on the ground, I was like, oh, we're coming out with this and we're going to score. I felt like I knew. And then I saw it pop out. I saw Chili pick it up, and I was like, all right, this is it. And it went in the back of the net. It did take me a second. It took me a second or two to realize, and then I was like, oh my God. I threw my gloves, my helmet, sprinted down the field, hugging my teammates. It was a good moment.
I saw the Derryfield offense set up, and there was no chance that we did not score that possession. Ethan took it down the wing, and he passed it to the crease, got knocked down to a ground ball, but I already knew that we were coming up with that, and we were scoring right there, because that's what they do.
Really clutch player. He's had great moments all season. I think the biggest thing for him is that he's really calm and cool and collected. So when he gets into those moments, he's not freaking out or in his head. He's just very technical, and he makes the right moves and does what needs to be done.
is the greatest overtime celly, I think, in the books. And the only reason why I knew to do that, I was bummed after the Westwood game because I was like, oh, I should have done it. But I was telling my family, I've told them for years and years and years. And I've been like, if I ever in like the slim chance, like if I can get an overtime victory, like the dead fish is coming out. And so I pointed to Murray and then I just went for it.
I don't know if the goal or the celebration after was better. The celebration, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but the dead fish celebration afterwards was pretty good. Like I enjoyed that.
The dead fish celebration, and it was awesome, funny way to end it. And I think that sums up a lot of Chili's celebrations. They're all funny and jokes, and it was the best possible sequence to end on. So, yeah.
It was awesome. I mean, his celebration at the end too. He did like a little floppy fish. He kind of did like a flip into everyone celebrating and jumping on him. It was awesome. That's like honestly the best way we could have gone out high school for sure.
I mean, if that was me, I would have been doing the same thing. Just the dead fish celebration, just jumping into the end zone there, letting everyone kind of rally around him. Like I know I ran over, I picked him up right away, and I turned and look, and all the guys running from the bench, and then we're all celebrating. I see Coach sprinting towards them, and they give a big hug, you know.
I took a moment, like I didn't even storm the field. I was in such disbelief and shock that like it happened. I was like, did that just happen? I just stood there and just took it in. I looked at the crowd and looked at everybody and just saw everybody smiling and watching the pure joy on the kids' faces, and just the tears. Like I had tears coming, the kids did. Like I know it's high school sports, but like it was really needed that one. Really wanted to win that for the kids and send the seniors out in the right way. And you know, I wanted to do it for them, and they did it.
It was a fairy tale ending to get that. A lot of the seniors were definitely holding back tears because it was just, we've worked for 3 years, always losing to Portsmouth, so finally being able to put it away in our final game, playing for the school, winning in overtime, it was just like you can't make that stuff up. Like, it was just incredible.
There's really no words to put it in. It was such a crazy and wild feeling, and definitely seeing everyone like coming down, cheering everyone. Like we were a family, and we were with each other for 3-4 months, and it was great. And we stuck with each other, and I think that last game really showed like we were a legit team, and we worked together, and we were there for each other. And seeing everyone come down was crazy. It was wild. That was the best part, was just the reactions from everyone, but also like after the game when we were like, we did this for each other, and we won for each other.
No, I don't think there is. There's nothing else like it. And that's like, I mean, that's my first championship at Derryfield. And I'm really happy that it came with this team. I feel like it's a really special group of guys. And we've had an amazing season with a lot of great moments. And just to cap it off that way, I think was just a great culmination of all the work that we've put in. And there's just like nothing you can compare it to, or no way to describe it.
It's poetic. The entire game felt poetic, from the triumphant and ferocious start to the adversity that we had to battle through in the third quarter. To see Chili, who all season, since I've known him and played with him, has proven himself to be an incredibly hard worker, super talented and skilled, and super focused. Just to see him make a Chili Cabot play to win us the state championship, it was perfect. And the ecstasy of knowing that all the work that we put in this season and in every season prior pays off in that moment was amazing.
I think it was honestly surreal. I mean, we kept on saying, I mean, the day before practice, it was like a beautiful sunset, and we were like, this is like the picture perfect movie ending. Just graduated that morning, We go into a sunset practice. It was a perfect weather. Sunset was beautiful, and then the next day, obviously winning the championship, it was perfect. This season was totally surreal. All the hard work paid off. It was perfect ending to the story.
Number 4, Liam Canty. Number 5, Chad Faulkner. Number 6, R.J. True. Number 7, Brady Goldo. Number 8, Garrett Landy. Number 9, Zach Rosenthal. Number 10, Ben Rosenthal. Number 11, Duggan Brewer-Little. Number 12, Tyler Latore. Number 13, Herbert Eubank. Number 16, Tyler Marsden. Number 17, Michael Runbeck. Number 18, Quinn Silvio. Number 19, Andrew Vasquez. Number 20, Matt Fowler. Number 21, Logan Purvis. Number 22, Troy Cabot. Number 24, Ethan Walligan. Number 25, Dylan Fry. Number 26, Jared Moulton. Number 27, Ruben Moore.
I think the accomplishment was wild. We had all the seniors, and that was definitely one thing we were talking about in the huddles. Almost every quarter, for the most part, was like, we got seniors who this is their last Derryfield game, and this could be like, for most of us, like the last time we see each other. So it's like, let's go out with a bang, let's have some fun while we do it, and hopefully we can get a W.
I think the best word is gratifying. The last 3 years, we haven't beaten Portsmouth. We've come really close, and had like great competition with them. We've had great teams the last 3 years, but to finally get a win against them, and especially in a championship, in overtime, after like an incredible game, I think it's just really gratifying.
Really special and almost like shocking how, from the start of the season, we all had the same goal in mind. We're all working towards the same thing. We have to execute, come back every day, practice. It's such a big commitment from everybody on the team individually and as a whole. And to come together with all one goal in mind and execute day in, day out, put in all that extra time, weekends, weekdays, performing in games, then ultimately in the championship in overtime, to all get that and put it into a win at the end of the season is really special. And, it's hard to find something where you start and you execute at the end, all as a team and individually. So it was nice to end it where we're all ending with our own goal that we had.
I can say that it was an incredible experience to be a part of the Derryfield Lacrosse program's legacy, Coach Hetler's legacy as a coach, and the story of the lacrosse players that are going to go on to play in college. For me, this is my last game. And to be a part of what we did and win a state championship was amazing. That's really all I can say about that.
It's just one of those things, like, it's so difficult to explain. You just have to be a part of the team to really understand how much, like, this means to all of us. Having worked so hard for the past 3 years, all of us really, because there was no 2020 season, so for me it was 3 years along with the juniors grinding, working hard every practice, working in the summers with our club teams, playing fall, and then come winter doing indoor, like non-stop year-round working to get to this. It's just incredible. Words cannot explain it. It's just amazing.
I think the legacy that they'll leave behind is they kick-started, they restarted what we had before COVID. And it's not to say that the groups that came after that didn't help to lead up to that. They certainly did. We don't get here today if those seniors from the class of 2020 who missed because of COVID, and 21 and 22, and the great work that they did to get us back to the Final Four and the finals. But this group has now shown the kids underneath that, hey, if you believe in the team, if you believe in what we're trying to do here, you believe in the culture, good things will happen. You can't guarantee a championship every year. That's crazy. But like, they saw the blueprint. They see, and now the kids believe that, like, if we all buy into what the team's trying to do, then we'll get to where we want to go at the end of the season. And I think it was really important for the younger kids to see that, to see that these guys look at the work that they put in the off season, playing for different club programs, working out, hitting the weight room, doing, even just as simple as doing wall ball on a regular basis, right? All those things add up. and it leads to great outcomes. So again, would it have changed things if we had lost that championship? I don't know. I think we were still. I think these guys, they're going to be hungry no matter what. But it certainly helps to motivate when you know that, hey, hard work does pay off.
Lacrosse champion, Derryfield Cougars. Also earlier today, the Visionary Cardinals and the Hopkinton Hawks in Division 3. Thank you. The NHI thanks you for supporting your local teams tonight. Please drive home safely. Thanks to the committee who represents the NHI and their heroes. Carol, Brian, thank you all.
Still kind of riding an adrenaline high right now. But I think, like, knowing, like, driving home last night, I drove Quinn and Flanny home as I dropped them off, and just riding home alone. I was just thinking about the season, and no, it was like, it's all over now. I know it's over now. It definitely hits hard, but like being able to come back for like games next year, coming back for this interview right now, coming back to school, I'll always know that there's a special place here, and know I'm going to be coming back. I'll see that picture in Coach Head's office of us right around the scoreboard with the trophy and everything. Flanny's gloves will be up there hanging. It'll definitely always remember this.